Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are going to Blitz bomb the entire body. We're going to try to keep ourselves moving on the mat the whole time, shooting for a brisk but controlled movement. I'm going to set a moderate pace on the mat, but you are more than welcome to dial it up or dial it down. If you are following along inside view, then your working leg will always be the leg closest to the screen. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set ourselves up towards the top end of the mat and we're going to find a comfortable parallel stand with our feet just inside of hip width distance apart. Our working leg closest to the screen, is going to start with the whole foot grounded to the mat. Arms can be at your side, just long and relaxed, or you could place them on your hips. We're going to do one knee lift. We're going to re-ground the foot, and then we're going to do one warrior three. Think of it as a one-legged standing table to re-ground. Rinse and repeat on the same side. One knee lift, one balancing stand. Two more to go. As you complete the last set, find your way to a tall stand, arms relaxed at your side. Big breath into prep. On an exhale, you're going to nod your chin to your chest, hollow out your belly, round out your back, bend your knees if you need to step back into a full plank line. Your working leg, you're going to give me one knee up, one leg lift. One knee up, one leg lift. You can execute the same movement from a 4-point kneeling frame if the plank is too challenging for you today. Last one. Find your way to 4-point kneeling. Arms can be long and extended, or you can drop down onto the forearms. Same working leg. We're going to open up that knee out to the side of the room and float it back. We're going to end in the open position and start to trace a big forward tracking circle. Then find your way from here onto the side of the body. We're going to set ourselves up high on the bottom elbow, stacking our legs. We're coming into a working clam, trying to line up our heels with our spine. We're going to start with an open and close through the top leg. Keeping our ribs up nice and high and the bottom shoulder engaged. Now keep both knees down and lift and lower the feet. Now combine the last two movements together for a diamond clam. Find your way back to your 4-point kneeling frame, same working leg. We're going to come back to that open and close hydrant-like move. Keep belly to spine throughout. And in the open position and trace a backward tracking circle. Find your way back onto the side of the body, same working leg. Check your bottom arm, come up nice and high. Make sure those ribs are high. Make sure you're not collapsing into the shoulder. We're going to start where we ended off in that diamond clam frame. And we are going to extend and tap on the top leg. Then begin to tap the big toes together. Now give me a turnout position and tap the heels together. Then relax your legs back down and reposition the top leg so that you're stepping into that little curved section in front of the ankle of the bottom leg. We're going to press our way up on the bottom arm. Instead of having the arm right underneath the shoulder, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of distance from the shoulder line. If you've got really long legs, you might need to reposition and slide the legs away from the body line after your first set. You can keep the top hand connected to the floor if you need support. If you're playing freestyle, you're going to place that hand on the top knee. We're going to lift our bottom hip off the floor. We're going to slide the legs into extension, coming into a side plank, and take a whisper soft seat back down on the mat. If you're feeling strong, you can keep a hovering position and not quite allow your bottom hip to reground. End in the lift, bring your top hand to a T frame and give me half a thread and back to T. If you need to modify, bend the bottom leg, use it as a prop and play with the same tucking like or threading like motion. Last one, we're going to find our way into a high gate line by bending the bottom leg, extending the top, and coming up into a tall modified kneel. We're going to relax one hand to the extended leg, and we're going to play with the other arm. You're going to give me an arc and a drop and slide. Arc, drop and slide. One more. Then we're going to use this gate line for some functional work. Place a grounding hand on the mat. You could do a flat hand, you could do a fisted hand, you could do high spider fingertips. Top hand placed on your hip. We are going to lift the top leg up. We're going to do a knee draw, and then we're going to tap back down. So it's a lift to a knee draw, and then a tap out. Two more to go, then we'll come back into that high gate frame. Extending the top leg, resting the hand. You know where you're going to arc with a drop and slide. One more. Then we're going to prop the hand closest to the floor on the floor. We're going to come back to this high gate, but this time our starting position is not toe on floor, but rather floating at that table height. We're going to do one leg pull, one knee pull, one leg pull, one knee pull. Let's do one more. Find your way back to that tall gate line and find your arc with your drop and slide. One more. Then we're going to find our way from here to a narrow kneeling frame on the mat, pressing the thighs together. We're going to take the L frame between our index fingers and thumbs, hook it around our waist, and bump our hips forward over our knees and hold a gentle camel stretch. Looking for a delicious stretch into the thighs, your hip flexors, your belly, maybe even feeling it bleeding up into the chest line. Support your lower back. Then bring your body into one neutral line. Arms can stay on your hips, or they can be relaxed at your side, or you can T-frame them. Or for the most work, you're going to tuck your hands behind your head so that the arms are not there to support you and you need to use your core to control. We're going to step up and we're going to step down. We're going to keep leading on one side for 5. And then we're going to switch up and we're going to lead for 5 with the second leg. We're going to end in our standing frame, hands behind the head, feet can be underneath your hips, or you can take your stance a little bit wider. We're going to come into a chair or a squat, hands together, pressing into the palms, then back to your tall stand. Press into your hands as you take that seat with enough force to feel your pecs. End in your seat, hold it. Then pulse teeny tiny for 10. Build up a nice burn in those thighs. Stand up nice and tall. Give me some heel lifts. Pivot to face the back end of your mat. Your working leg is going to be the leg closest to the mirror. Arms at your side or hands placed on your hip creases. Knee up to ground. Warrior 3. You're going to shoot for between 5 to 10 reps. Find your way to a tall stand, arms relaxed at your side. One roll down to come into a plank line, same working leg. One knee up, one leg lift. One knee up, one leg lift. Last one. Find your way to a 4-point kneeling frame, same working leg. We're going to open up the knee into a little hydrant and float back. We're going to end in the open frame and start to trace a big forward tracking circle. Then flip onto the side, same working leg. It should be the leg that's looking up to the ceiling. We're going to find our way into a climb line. High on the bottom arm, ribs up nice and high. Keep the bottom leg grounded, play with the top leg, open and close, keeping the feet together. Then ground the knees and lift and lower the feet. Now combine those two movements together for a working opening and closing diamond frame. Find your way back to your 4-point kneeling frame. Same working leg closest to the screen. We're going to come back into that opening and closing hydrant frame. Keeping our neckline long, keeping the belly button and the lower belly pulled in. You're going to end in the open position and you're going to start to trace a big circle. This time we're moving in a backward tracking fashion. Find your way up to the side of the body again. Working leg should be looking up to the sky. We're going to have a nice high shoulder, ribs up nice and high. We're going to start in the diamond frame. We're going to keep that bottom leg hovering as we extend and bend to tap. And then we're going to tap the big toes together. Assume a turnout position and tap the heels. Then close your legs and focus on the top leg. You're going to step it to the floor so that your heel is at the curve where your ankle on the bottom leg is. We're going to prop ourselves up on the bottom arm, not too close. Give yourself distance from the shoulder line and reposition the legs if you need to. We're coming into our working side plank lift. You're going to lift yourself off the mat, coming into an extended side plank, and then a soft seat, shooting for between 5 to 10 reps. One more to end in the lift. Bring your hand up into a T frame, give me half a thread, and then back to T. You can modify by bending the bottom knee and grounding it to the mat if you need support. Last thread, we're going to find our way to a high gate line, bend and ground the bottom leg, peel up into a tall, let's call it a one-sided kneel, and place your top hand on that top thigh. We're going to work with the other hand. You're going to arc, you're going to drop and slide. Last one. We're going to find our way into a grounded gait. You're going to start with the top leg, big toe connected to the mat. We're going to do one lift to table height, one knee tuck, and then we're going to trace our path back to the mat. Find your way back to your tall gait. Top hand resting on your thigh, making the other arm work. One frame, one drop and slide. Last one, we're going to come back to our grounded gait line and we're going to play with the top leg. This time our starting position is not on the floor, but at hip height. One leg pull to the front, one knee tuck. We're going to find our way back to that tall gait, top hand resting on your thigh. You know where you're going to, one arc, one drop and slide. Last one. You're going to find your way from here into a narrow kneel, squeezing the two thighs together, taking the L frame between your index finger and thumb, hooking it around your waist, bumping your hips forward over your knees and taking a delicious little supported camel back bend. Hold. Then neutralize your shoulders, hips, knees. Tuck your hands behind your head or keep them on your hips or open them out into T. We're going to play with that step up and that step down. Leading for 5 with one leg, finding your pace. And then leading for 5 with the second leg. Then we're going to end in our stand. Feet stacking underneath your hips, or you could take your stance a little bit wider. We're going to start in this tall stand, elbows reaching wide, and then a seat or a squat, pressing into your hands and back to your stand. If you'd like to fist the hands together and squeeze, maybe that'll give you more connection and remind you to work all the way into your pecs. We're going to end in that seat. Hands are either fisted or in prayer. And you're going to hold. And you're going to give me little pulses. And you're going to find your way into a forward fold. You could do hands to floor, or you could do hands to shins or thighs. Hold. Rock the weight gently between your balls and the heels of your feet. And then come to stillness somewhere between the two and hold it. For our ending stretch sequence, you can bend the knees and just roll up. Find a wall or a cupboard or a sturdy piece of furniture, or you could elect to play freestyle on the mat with a strap as your assist. Find the way towards your prop, and you're going to face your prop head on. If you've got a high chair or a countertop or a bar that you can use to press your foot or prop your foot on top of, that could also work. So we're going to place our foot on our prop. We're going to have all 5 toes of the grounding foot looking towards our prop, and we're going to hold here. You can press down on the leg, you can hold it there. You're going to hold for at least 30 seconds. Then change legs. You can give the legs a little pedal out as you change. If you're wearing socks on your feet, just be careful that you don't slip. Give the legs a little shake out. We're going to come back to the first side, but we're going to change the setup frame of the bottom leg. So this time we're going to splay the foot out. Instead of having toes looking towards our prop, we're going to turn away from the midline and the toes are looking out. You're going to then step your other leg into your prop. You're going to hold from the inside, so you're pulling the inner thigh open, and you're going to hold here. 30 seconds at least. Then shake it out and change legs. Face your prop and then take a working grounding leg, turn it away from your prop, so it's turning away from the midline, and then Step your working leg onto the wall or your piece of furniture. Reach from the inside, you're pulling out, and we're going to hold. Release, give the legs a little shake out as you face your prop. You're going to cross the arms. Let's do left arm on top. And you're going to hug your shoulders. Then you're going to think of keeping the hug, but loosening it up slightly as you float your forearms overhead to frame your head, and then you're going to hug onto the elbow points. Left arm is still on top, and you're going to squeeze the elbow softly in to center. Finding a nice, tall, comfortable stand with your spine in neutral, and pulling your belly button gently into center. Then relax back down, change hands, right arm on top, hug your shoulder blades. Then start to loosen up the hug. Frame, you use your forearms to frame your head, and then hug those elbows, right arm is still on top. Give the arms a little release. We're coming back into our first position. Toes looking towards our prop. We're going to step our working leg onto the prop. We're going to add a gentle fold this time. Holding onto the limb and just bringing your head and your trunk into a soft fold. Don't overstretch, just keep it gentle. Try to hold for 30 seconds. Then change legs, remembering to give a little pedal out. Remember the toes of your grounding foot are looking straight towards your prop. Find your step up position and then add a little fold. Give the legs a little shake up. Take your grounding leg this time and rotate it away from the midline. You're going to find your step up position onto your prop. You're going to hold from underneath or from the inside, and you're going to tuck your other arm behind your back, reaching fingertips for the opposite hip so that you're opening up through the back shoulder, and you're going to rotate your head to look over the shoulder furthest from your wall or your prop. Then unravel. Take the leg that was on the wall, cross it over the other foot, and take a soft forward fold. Hands can be on your thighs. You can stop in table, or you can drop through the table line and bring hands to floor. Look towards your knees, start to bend them, think curtsy, and then uncross your legs, step them into parallel, and ragdoll style bleed up. I'm doing that contraction in your belly so that you're standing up nice and tall. Face your prop one last time. Your grounding leg is going to turn away from the midline, and then you're going to step your leg up onto your prop. You're going to hold from the inside. You're going to take the other arm, tuck it loosely behind your back, or reach for the opposite hip. You're going to look over the shoulder furthest from your prop, and you're going to hold. Then uncross or untangle yourself. Take the leg that's on the wall. We are going to cross that foot over the other. And you're going to come into a soft forward fold. Hands to thighs, hands to shins, or hands to floor. You're going to hold that cross-legged fold, keeping your belly button softly pulled into center. And both feet as firmly planted into the mat as you can manage. Then look towards your knees, bend them, then curtsy, unravel yourself, like a ragdoll, peel up, restack, realign, find a nice tall stand, and just give me 3 ordinary roll downs to end off your practice. Big breath in, on an exhale, low chin to chest, stretch the entire line of your spine as you bleed down and back up. Find your rhythm. Look for that contraction in the belly as you roll down over an imaginary ball or barrel, stretching the line of your spine as you contract your abs. And then undoing as you restack and realign. Arms relaxed at your side. End standing nice and tall, bringing your hands together in front of your heart in gratitude. Thank you so much for making the time to come and play. Till next time, keep it light.